Thank you for sending the recorded. Thank you for sending out a recorded video.
Okay.
Yes, it's quite helpful.
Okay, so I believe each of us has 4 quadrants like this. So
yes,
and we have created our project. So
yes, we have.
That first script that we have is just for our R basics. Now we will now create another script for the training proper.
Okay.
So to do that, we just go to our file, new file, and R script.
Okay.
So if you click that, a new script will open with the name untitled. Can you see that here?
Yes.
Okay.
Then we will now save it. So let's save it. Go to file, go to save as, and let's give it a name. So let's say February R training.
Okay.
Or February 2025. 2025 R training. Okay. So you can see the name has changed from untitled to February 2022 25 R training.
2025.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So now when you are starting your data analysis for any work you want to analyze, the first thing I do, which is common, which is good practice, is for you to sectionalize your script. You put your script in sections so that you are following the steps of data analysis one by one, so that you don't miss out on anything. So the advantage of sectionalizing your script is that, number one, it helps you to be methodical. You don't miss out on anything. Number two, once you learn how to use R, you're going to be collaborating with other people, and you're going to be sharing your scripts with them.
Yes.
And anybody that you share your script with that sees those sections, we know that this person knows what the person is doing. Your script are not just anyhow, right?
Yes.
So to sectionalize your script, you click Control Shift and R. Sorry, let me go back. Control Shift and R. It will open up this dialog box that you can see here. Control Shift and R. Then the first thing, the first section is usually your title, and then you press Enter. So it creates a section for title, right? Then the next step, Control Shift and R again, is your install and load packages. Then Enter. It gives you that section. Then Control Shift and R again. The next step is your import data set. Then Control Shift and R again. The next step is what? Explore your data. Then Control Shift and R again. After explore your data, you clean and manipulate your data.
Like you are developing like an SOP.
Exactly. An SOP for your data analysis process. Then after you clean and manipulate your data, the next thing is your descriptive statistics. Enter. Then Control Shift and R again. After descriptive statistics is data visualization. And then after that, Control Shift and R again is your inferential statistics. So I'm going to zoom into quadrant 1. How do I zoom into a quadrant?
Okay.
So you click Control Shift and the number of the quadrants.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
Yes. Control Shift 1
and 1.
Okay.
So I've zoomed into one.
Yes, control.
Okay, so I just did that so that you can see the steps, the SOP. So you have your title,
Okay.
your install and load packages. So just have this at the back of your mind. Anytime you want to analyze any data, you first of all do this. So you
But
have
why
your
is he
title.
numbering? What's the meaning of all this numbering? Does he really?
No, this numbering is just no, the numbering is just to be able, let's say you are discussing with somebody and you say, can you look at the code on line 22?
Line 14, line 23.
That's what this
Or
numbering
easy
is.
identification.
Exactly. For easy identification of each line of code.
Okay.
Yeah. So just have it like a mental picture. After your title,
Okay.
you want to install and load. So, packages are like the collection of tools.
Tools, yes.
Right? So let's assume you're a carpenter.
Yes.
You get to your office and you've opened up. The first thing you want to do is what? To bring out your tools for your work.
Yes, the container where you pack all your tools.
Exactly. So that's the install and load packages.
Okay.
Now, the next thing is to bring your raw material that you use, which is your data set. Right? Then
Yes.
the next, after you import your data set, then you now explore your data. Let's even see this data. What does it contain? What are the variables? How many rows does it have? How many columns does it have? So those kind of questions are what you answer in your exploring your data. Now, after you understand like what is contained in your data, then you now clean and manipulate your data. So usually when data comes, it's not clean. There's some errors here and there and stuff. So clean and manipulate is where you will clean that data and bring it to the point where it's now ready for analysis.
Okay.
Right? Manipulate is like maybe you have age in numerical. You want to convert age to categories. Let's say you want to from 5 to 10, from 11 to 20, from 21. So those are manipulation of data. Or you have height in numbers and you want to convert height to categories: short, average, tall. So those are manipulations. Right? Then after you finish doing that, your data is now ready for your analysis. Then you now do your descriptive statistics, where descriptive statistics is mainly your frequency tables, your frequency and your summary tables. Then after you do that, you now visualize, and that's where you do your graphs and your charts. Then after that, you now do your inferential statistics. That's where you start doing all your t-test, your chi-square, and blah, blah, blah. So if you follow this method in analyzing your data, you can never go wrong because it's a standard way of data analysis anywhere in the world.
Okay.
Yeah, so please learn these steps. Let it be that once you're woken up, Zinat, wake up, wake up. What are these steps in data analysis? You just wrap it out. And you don't need to cram it. You just need to follow the pattern in your head. Okay, I have data.
Yes.
What do I do? What's the first thing I do? After I bring the data inside, what do I do to the data? I want to know about the data first. That's explore. After I know about it, what do I want to do? By knowing about it, you might see some errors that it contains. So the next thing you want to do is to clean.
To clean, yes.
So after you finish cleaning, what's the next thing you want to do? What you want to do after cleaning is to describe your data. So you create tables. After you create tables, what's the next thing you want to do? Tables do not really give you, do not make you see the information very, very clearly. So you need to draw diagrams to see the thing. So that's your data visualization. So after you've done that, then the next thing is, okay, how can I make insights into this data? How can I see the relationships? And then that is your inferential statistics.
Inferential statistics.
Exactly. So If we stop here, we've actually finished the course.
No, we are starting the course.
Okay, so let's go back. So Control Shift 1 and come back to our 4 quadrants. Okay, so the title, usually what the title contains is your name. So the name of the project. So this is our data analysis in R programming, right? Then
Yes.
let's say the author. So usually putting your name as the person that is doing the, so I'm going to put in my own name here. So R Malam. And then I'm going to write dates. So we say February 2025. And then you can choose to put in your email or something. So I'll put in my email. And practically you're done with your title. Now you can see, because I told you initially that everything you write in the script, R considers it as a code, unless you tell it is not. How do you tell R is not a code?
You insert the hashtag.
You insert the hashtag, exactly. So you can see this X beside is because R does not understand this code, but this is actually not a code. So I'll now put a hashtag in front of it. You can see if I put a hashtag, the X will disappear. Can you see the X has disappeared?
Yes.
If I put a hashtag on this one too, the X will disappear. You can see it has disappeared. If I put a hashtag on this one too, the X will disappear. So I put a hashtag because they are not codes. I'm telling our CEO, these things I'm writing, they are not codes, so they're just comments. Then we'll finish our title. Then the next, so the reason why is we create sections are that sometimes the number of lines in each section can be very, very long. And then you now have to start scrolling before you get, so you can actually collapse a section. So can you see this small thing like arrow beside number 2?
Yes.
So if I click that thing, it collapses everything I've written under title.
Okay. So you are keeping it to minimize space.
To minimize space, exactly.
Yes.
If I want to see it again, I'll just click that arrow and it comes out again. So even if you have 1,000 codes, lines of codes in your script, you can collapse everything like this.
Okay.
And collapse everything. You can see I'm collapsing everything. So even if I had 10,000 lines in this, I've collapsed them to only 8.
Yes.
Then in case let's say there's a particular section I want to look at specifically, maybe I want to look at the descriptive statistics, I can just come and click on the descriptive statistics. It opens and I look at what I want to look at it. So that's the benefit of creating sections. Okay. So we've done our title. Then the next thing is to install and load packages. And we said packages are a collection of functions performing related or similar tasks. Yes, similar tasks. Exactly. Good. So now it's good to, that should be the next thing you do immediately after title. You install all the packages that you're supposed to use for that analysis. You install them so that you know you are done with that and you continue your work. Some people do, when they get to the place where they need that particular package, they will install it. When they get to the place, but that's cumbersome. So what I do is you install your packages, all the packages you think you need, install them at this stage. Then once you start, you know you're not doing any loading of packages again.
Okay.
So there are 2 ways to load packages. There is the old
How
way.
will I know? How will I know
which package to
all
load?
the packages?
That's a very, very
My
good
data
question.
will. Yeah.
Very, very good question. So R has over 20,000 packages.
Mm.
So it's not for you to know all of them. Different fields have their different packages that they use. For example, people that are in finance have packages that they use in R. People that are in engineering have packages that they use in R. People that are doing data analysis have packages. So there are different packages in R. So it's for you to know the ones that are relevant for your work. And then just stick to those ones because there are so many packages and there's no way you can ever know all of them. So for this, our training, there are 7 packages that I will introduce to us that will be enough for all the data analysis that we're going to do.
Okay.
Yes. So
7.
7, yes, 7 of them. So there are 2 ways to install packages, but I'm going to teach you the simpler one.
Okay.
So to install your package, we usually use a package called Pacman. Pacman means package manager. That's the short form of package manager. And it helps you to install and load your packages at the same time. So let's see the difference the difference between install and load. Now, let's assume you want to read a book and you don't have that book. What will you do? You go to the market.
Either photocopy. Okay.
No, you go to the market and you buy the book.
Okay.
Right? And then you bring it back home.
Yes.
So when you go to the market and buy the book and bring it back home, have you read the book?
No.
No.
Good. So going to the market to buy the book and bringing it back home is install.
Okay.
Then each time you want to read the book, let's say you have a library in your house where you kept the book. Each time you want to read the book, you go to your library, take it, open it, you read. After you finish reading for that session, you close it back and keep it in your library. So that going to your library and opening it and reading is load.
Load. Okay.
So packages in R are stored in the cloud in a place that we call CRAN, the something R repository, blah, 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 blah. Comprehensive repository of R, something like that, sure. So the packages are stored in the cloud. So when you don't have that package in your system, so conventionally, when you install R, R comes with some inbuilt packages that you can use to work. But there are some better packages that can produce better results for you that is not contained in the R that you installed on your system. So those ones, you have to install them. And the installation is bringing it from the cloud to your system. And that's the buying of the book. So anytime you hear install, it means you're bringing it from the cloud or from the internet into your system.
Into the system. Okay.
Yes, into your computer. So when it comes into your computer will store it in an R library. Then when you want to use that package in your R Studio, you now need to load that package. And loading that package means making it operational for that session. If you don't make it operational for that session,
like activating it.
Like activating it, exactly. So if you don't activate it, even though it's in your system, it will not work. So you need to activate it, and that is the loading.
Okay.
Does it make sense?
Yes.
So having explained these things, so installation.
So how long can we leave activated one before it is deactivated? Or
once the R Studio, once you close it, it deactivates.
Okay.
Once you close the R Studio, it deactivates.
Okay.
Or if your system goes into sleep mode or something.
Sleeping, yes.
Exactly, it will deactivate. You have to install it. You want to load it again. So having said this, it means installation can only happen once because you can only buy a book once. Once you bought the book, you have bought it. You don't need to buy it again when you want to read it again. So once you've installed,
except if you lose it.
Except you lose it. So once you've installed a package in your system, you don't need to install it again, ever.
Okay.
Again. Okay.
Because it's already in your system. But the loading is something you have to do every time you open up RStudio. You have to activate the package. That's the loading. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to give us the code. So the first thing you do is you install .packages. So install .packages is the function. So you load the package called Pacman first, because it's this Pacman that we'll use to now install and load other packages in our system.
Okay.
Right? So when we execute this code, it will install Pacman. Then our next line will be, so let me just write here on top of here, first install the Pacman package, which is used to install other packages, right?
Yes.
Then the next thing we'll do is now use Pacman to install and load other packages. And how we do that is we say Pacman :p underscore load in brackets. Now we'll now put in the function, the packages we want to load. So I told you there were 7. So you have Rio is the package. Okay, sorry, let me do something. So Rio, comma, you have what else now? Rio here. Let's leave here.
So what is this double colon? What does it imply?
Don't worry, I'll explain. Let me just finish writing the code. So Rio, and then you have janitor, and then you have scheme R, and then you have R statics, and then you have epikit, and then you have GT summary, and then you have tidyverse. So you can actually write your codes in a straight line like this, right? But I prefer
instead of writing them one by one.
I prefer to write it like this. So Rio, comma, then I put janitor on the next line. I put scheme R on the next line. I put R statistics on the next line. I put epikit on the next line. I put GT summary on the next line. I put tidyverse on the next. Sorry. I put tidyverse on the next line. The reason why I do like this is that it gives you space to be able to make comments. So I can say, Rio package, this is for importing and exporting data sets. Then I'll say janitor, this is for data cleaning. And then scheme R, I'll say this is for data exploration. R statistics for summary statistics. Epikit for epidemiological calculations. GT summary is for creating interactive frequency tables. And then tidyverse is for data manipulation and data Visualization. So you can see anybody that sees your code like this, even if the person does not know R,
Yes, it's easy to,
it's
yes,
easy to know what exactly you're doing. Right?
yes,
Okay. Oga Sunday, are you
Yes,
with us?
I'm
Okay, fine.
following you.
Awesome. So you will, like I said, you first install this. So Control Enter on this one, it will install the packages, and then Control Enter on this one, it will install. So you asked me what this double colon is. So
Yes.
there are some times. So what this double colon means is that you're saying that this function pload, p underscore load, is present inside this pacman package.
Mm-hmm.
Ordinarily, what we should
okay,
have just done is to just say only pload, the function. But in R, because R has so many packages, right? There might be
Yes.
a function in one package that might also be the same name of the function in another package.
the same name,
Yes.
okay,
So let's assume now you have scissors in a tailor's toolbox, and you also have scissors in a carpenter's toolbox, right? They
yes,
have similar names. So if you install those two packages, tailor's toolbox and carpenter's toolbox, in your R, when you want to use the function scissors, R will not know which scissors you want to use, whether it's the one in the tailor's or in the one in the carpenter's. So this is how to specify
yes,
that I want to use the scissors in the carpenter's package. So
Okay.
here we're trying to say, tell R, I want to use the pload function in the pacman package,
pacman package,
so that it does not confuse it with the pload function in another package.
okay,
Yeah. So the beauty of using pacman is that it would check if your package is not installed on your system. It will install it. After installing, it will
okay,
load it.
okay,
But if it checks and it is already installed, it will skip the installation and load the package.
load it,
That's the beauty of using pacman.
okay,
Yeah. Okay. So so the first thing you do, like I said, for me, I don't need to run this install of pacman because I have already installed pacman on my system. But for you, when you're doing
okay,
this, you will need to run that one because you've not installed pacman on your system before. So since I've installed pacman on my system, I don't need to run line 10. I'll only run these ones here. So if I do Control
okay,
Enter, it will run them and then give me my results. So it has run them. So there's something I forgot to tell you about the console. Can you see the last symbol here is a greater than sign?
Yes.
yes,
So it's called the prompt. So when you run
okay,
a code in R, once R has finished running that code, this greater than sign will appear. If it has not finished running the code,
okay,
you will not see the greater than sign. So that means it's still
okay,
working, it's still operating, it's still running those codes. When it's now finished with the
okay,
code, you will now see this greater than sign.
okay,
Yeah, so my seeing this greater than sign means R has loaded my packages.
okay,
Yeah, but when you will be doing it, it will take some time because you have not done it before in your system. So it's going to install. And then when you're installing a package, because the package is in the cloud, you need internet connection.
okay,
Yeah, so your system needs to be connected to the internet when you're loading. Say when you're installing, but when you're only loading, you don't need internet connection because the package is already in your system. You don't need internet connection to load.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So this ends our install and load packages. Right? So we have done two sections now.
Yes.
We've done title and we've done install and load packages. And the next
Yes.
one is import our data.